Well, you can tell summertime is here. It's getting pretty hot outside, getting to be where you want to take more breaks than used to. But our dog, Comet, he's a golden retriever. He's got kind of that heavy fur coat, and he's acting pretty miserable here lately. I'm not understanding why he doesn't get in the pond. Normally, he'd like to go play in the water and stuff. So today, my wife is kind of giving him a little bit of a shave. And we're not actually going to shave his fur coat off. What we're doing is we're shaving his belly. She's already got it shaved, so his underside under here is shaved down to the skin, so he can lay down on the ground and hopefully get cool against the ground. It'll help him cool off. So she's also de-shedding him, just or whatever you want to call that. She's kind of trying to get any extra fur, out of his coat, getting it shedded. I guess. What would you call it?
Removing the undercoat.
Removing the undercoat. So she's just trying to help him out, but one of the bad things is he's got flies that keep on wanting to land on his nose, and the bugs are just driving him nuts. I'm not really sure what you can spray on a dog to keep the flies and gnats off of him. A lot of times we would spray like a Buggins on him, which makes him smell kind of like mint and vanilla, and it would help a little bit, and I don't think he likes it that much, but his nose is all now bloody. It's getting blood on his nose, and the flies just won't stay off of that, and they keep on eating at the blood on his nose, probably making it worse. So I'm not really sure what the fix is for that. If you guys got any suggestions on how to keep flies and gnats off the dog, and I think she's going to put some Vaseline over that to try to keep like a barrier between the flies and I guess the sore spot on his nose to try to keep him off. But I don't know if it's necessarily going to work too well. So if you got any suggestions, let us know. I know Comet's pretty miserable out here in the heat. He is like 13 years old or so pretty old dog. So recently we ended up having a couple of ducks kind of went missing, and well, one went missing, and then we found out that she was a broody duck. She was sitting on a nest, and we found her in the tall grass. And so one day we ended up going out there, and she'd get off the nest every once in a while to go eat, and counted the eggs. She had 16 eggs underneath her. So, ooh, that's quite a bit of eggs. So then we ended up with another duck that ended up going missing. And so she ended up sitting on another nest of eggs. I can't talk today. But we had those two broody ducks sitting on nests of eggs. So we thought we had somewhere probably close to like 30 eggs being sat on. And then the one that had been on there the longest had probably been on there for over 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Was already over halfway to hatching out some babies, and all of a sudden something got up to the nests and got all the eggs. So I'm not really sure. So these ducks, so I want to show you. So the duck house is right here. This is where we keep their food. And then just like right here in this tall grass is where the ducks, one had a nest here and one had a nest over here. And something had come up and didn't kill the female ducks, but they got all their eggs. So let me show you these what's left of these nests. So the first duck that we had, she was sitting on a nest back in here. Let me pull this tree back. I don't know if you can see, but like right here, you can see all the feathers. Chickens don't really pull feathers that I remember, but these ducks actually pulled feathers. So they had a mound of feathers around their nest. It was pretty neat looking. And so something got in here, pulled all their eggs out, and their eggs are just strung around. So you can see there is a pile of eggs, all with the insides gone. They ate the entire insides. And same thing happened, all happened on the same night. So the other nest was just right here. You can see all the duck feathers here from where they were sitting on the eggs. And then I'm not really seeing the eggshells now. So I'm not 100% sure what ended up getting the duck eggs. They were all broke open and ate. I don't think that was my dog. That was way too many eggs for him to eat, I think, at one sitting. I mean, so something ate about 30 eggs all at once. And I think like a snake, I don't think a snake would probably, because we definitely have snakes along the edge of the pond. and snakes around, but I've always seen them look like they just swallow a whole egg. So I'm not really sure. My guess is it's a coon. My guess it's actually probably a mama coon and a bunch of babies came up there and they had a feast. So we do live, on a pond here, and we got tall grass along the edge. We haven't cleaned anything up next to the pond, and I'm not sure if a coon would swim across the water or if they. Most of the time when I see coons, they're always just walking the perimeter of the pond. And I've actually found coon tracks since we don't have very good grass around the house. I've actually found a few coon tracks here recently, right up there next to our walk out of our basement. So what we're going to do is, it's not hunting, it's not trapping season, but I went ahead and I've set out some live traps. I've got a couple live traps here. These are the only two I really have. I've got this a small one and like a medium sized one. We're going to see what we catch. If we catch a couple coons, we can just take them and haul them off somewhere else and drop them off a few miles away from here. But since it ain't trapping season, I can't really do my due diligence and really try to get rid of the coons. I didn't trap this winter. I do have a trapping license, and I do normally trap, and that's the reason why you do it, especially like here in a pond. You just attract all the wildlife, and when you have your animals right next to it, it's really just, I don't know, it's better just to kind of keep the population of those predators down. And a coon is a predator, to our chickens and our ducks. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to try to set a couple live traps and then see if we can just relocate them somewhere else. There is like a conservation and a state park, and there's some public land that's not too far away that we could take those coons to. So we've had 9 ducks here on the pond for quite some time, and I actually, one evening I filmed a video talking about how they stay out here next to the pond, and we hadn't lost one yet. See, and then I ended up speaking too soon. I never did post that video, by the way. But we ended up lost one of our ducks earlier this year, and they used to hang out way down there at the far end of the pond. Way down there. The ducks would go down there. Ever since we lost that duck, they don't go down there no more. So we're pretty confident that we've seen foxes and neighbor dogs and stuff like that back there, that some animal ended up getting one of the ducks back there. So now the ducks, they just stay right here around the pond, and they actually go up over here by the orchard and in front of our house, and they stay pretty close to the house anymore. Well, I guess that Vaseline isn't the only thing she's trying. She's got something else that she's using, trying to get the bugs off a Comet.
So I'm trying some apple cider vinegar and a little bit of water, and I've kind of soaked his ears. I've wiped all around his face, and it seems like it's working. It seems like they're staying away from his face now. They're on his legs and stuff now, but I'm probably gonna have to just rub it all over him. So get a spray bottle or something, spraying down with it periodically, maybe. But it seems like it's working. He doesn't like the smell of it, but
yeah, I wouldn't probably either.
Yeah.
So apple cider vinegar and water mixed together, and seeming to at least help for the time. You've only had it on him there for a couple minutes now, right? So.
Yeah. But they're not on him, so it's the longest they've not been on him in a while.
Yeah, because she put the Vaseline on him a second ago and kind of wiped his nose, and they were still wanting to land all around the Vaseline on his nose. They weren't really keeping him off, just off of where the Vaseline was. So he's still getting smothered with flies.
But yeah, they're flying around him. None's landing on him.
Yeah. So anyway, you guys do have any suggestions, let us know. But I guess it looks like apple cider vinegar and water may help a little bit. So hopefully that will relieve Comet. But we're always looking for more suggestions. So it's too bad about the ducks and something attacking them, killing all their eggs. Those ducks actually had sat on there for quite a long time too, and we were really looking forward to like a bunch of baby ducklings, just swimming around the pond, and I thought that would be pretty neat, something neat to share with other people. But it's looking like that's not going to happen right now. I know there's still a lot of summertime left, and maybe those ducks will go broody again and make a nest and try again. But I think in the time being, I'm going to go ahead and keep on setting some live traps out. I just set them out today. Hopefully I can catch some coons and relocate them over to some public ground and get them off of this pond, and maybe we'll have a better chance of our ducks, you know, being able to hatch out some ducklings. Because you're talking, I think for a duck, you're looking at about like close to 30 days for that they have to sit on that nest and hatch it out. I think it's longer than a chicken. So that's a long time for a duck to stay in one place and not a predator come up and get those eggs. So hopefully, we'll just have to wait and see. Still a long summer left. Hopefully, maybe we'll still have some. We could always throw some in the incubator, but it's way easier when you have like a mama duck or a mama chicken do it. They do all the work for you. It's kind of effortless, and I think that's the way we'd prefer to do it anyway. So, well, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. A little bit of bad luck here on the property, but that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.